Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. Well, today I'm sitting in my bathroom in front of a shelf that Howie built for me. There used to be a garden tub here that the previous owners had, and it leaked all the time, and so she took it out. So my master bathroom always had this big giant space. We had our ironing board over here, but that was about all it was. And so I asked him, and he built me a shelf. Goes from floor, not quite to the ceiling. I can put some stuff on the top of this shelf. And it holds all of my toothpaste and deodorant and shampoo and all of that kind of stuff. All of the things that we find at good prices, and we keep stocked up. Soaps, our bandages, first aid, alcohols, peroxides, all of those things. Plus our, this is where we keep our thermometers and our blood pressure cuffs and all of the things that we don't need all of the time, but we want to have it in a place that it's easy to locate. Now, these are not all of the things that I have. I have put things in other locations, but soaps and shampoos and mousse for your hair and, different lotions and stuff. In some of that other storage, it's not heated and cooled, and I wanted to have things in here that could be temperature controlled. And so he built me this really nice shelf. It doesn't look nice right now, and I have a story to tell you about that. Now, if you're like me and you have little grandchildren, or you're a parent that has little bitties, my grandchildren and my children live here at the farm. They live here in this house, and we're a multi-generational family. Now, if you have littles in your household, I have little grandchildren in my household, but if you're in a season of life that you have your little children, or especially toddlers or crawlers, or your grandchildren, then you know what it's like to try to sneak off to go to the restroom, or to get a bath, or any of those kind of things without littles tracking you down. And it's the same way here at our house. It's a race to try to beat. It was just Howie, and now little Rowdy is crawling and almost a walker. And so sometimes it's pretty difficult. Now when Shine and Blade are out working on the farm or out away from the home and I'm here with them, I don't like to leave them in another part of the house, especially when they were little bitty, without supervision. And so sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and you just had to bring them with you. So needless to say, they've gotten used to chasing me down if I had to come to this room. And so that happened, and we were in here, and I was doing whatever I was in here for, and Howie was in here with me, and he was standing over here. Now, it's hard for you to picture because all you're seeing is mess, and you're seeing boards, and you're seeing all of these things. But this has a nice, pretty floral curtain that goes in front of it, and so all of this stuff is not exposed. It's behind curtains, and it looks nice, and the very tip top of it has nice pitcher and bowl set, and some pretty things, to make it feel homey. And I usually have my ironing board over here and my sewing basket over here on this side, because we have to be pretty, we all have our spaces that we're living in, and so I have those things over here. And Howie was standing over here because he likes to try to get stuff out that he's not supposed to have, like other littles that are good at that. And he was over here, and I looked over at him, and it took me just a second to realize that behind him, I saw something move. Now, we're used to here, where we're at, we live on a farm, and where our house sits was just part of the cow pasture. Now, for 15 years, we've developed the house and the yard and the flower beds and all of that kind of stuff. But this time of year, you do have field mice trying to come in, and so it's not unusual to know that it's time to put out things to take care of catching those little critters, because I don't want to spend the winter with them. It took a second to dawn on me that I was not seeing a mouse, but in fact I was seeing a snake. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, she makes up this crazy stuff, and you've got a wild imagination. But I will tell you, I do have an imagination. I like to write and come up with different stories and scenarios, but this is not made up. I promise you, there was a snake in the house. Now, if you'd told me to describe it, I would have been like this big, like what fishermen tell their tales. But my instinct was to grab Howie by the hand, and we took off. And I got to the living room saying, snake, snake, snake. And then Cheyenne and I turned around, she grabbed Rowdy, and we came back to my bedroom and stood guard looking into my bathroom to make sure that the snake didn't get out of the bathroom and to go anywhere else in the house. We didn't see the snake. It crawled. I knew it crawled onto the shelf. But we couldn't see it, and we weren't coming in here to really get a visual on it. We were just making sure that it didn't get out. I say him. I don't mean to describe all snakes as him, but it was a snake, and I'm probably going to say him throughout the video. So he was in here, and we were in my bedroom standing guard looking out at him. So fortunately, Blade was on his way home and not too far from home. So we were in the bedroom, and here he came with shovel and rake and anything else that he thought he was going to have to use to get that big giant snake out of here. And, you know, when he got in here and he looked and got the spotlight out and up and down the shelves, he finally located the snake. And it was not an easy task to get him out. As you can see, I have a whole lot of empty shelves. And they were not that way. They were full to the edges with products that are now in baskets and laundry baskets all over my bedroom and bathroom floor. And he just raked them out into the floor. And I don't blame him. I didn't expect him to be nice and gentle and put everything in its place. He was just after the snake. I would have been even worse than he was. So after what seemed like hours, and I know it wasn't, it was just a few minutes, of getting all these things tore off the shelves, the snake didn't go up this high. That's why there's still product on the shelves. He did all of this product out in the floor. There are two of the fronts of the shelves tore off. I really don't know how that happened. But like I said, if I'd have done it, I don't even know if there would have been a shelf standing. And he finally was able to locate the snake and take care of him. Now, I will say that my imagination let the snake be a whole lot bigger than what he was. He was only about this big. And he wasn't, but just, you know, he wasn't very big around. And so he was removed. And it's time for me to get this shelf cleaned back up. Now, I don't know how he got in. I know there was one morning that the back door didn't get shut well, and he could have come in there. We replaced our hot water heater, and the flooring in there had to be replaced, and he could have came in through there. Some have told me he could have came through my toilet, and I don't even want to think about that. I want to allow myself some peace of mind, so I don't even want to think about the toilet. And who knows, you know, people have all kinds of sayings about snakes, and I don't want to hear them. So anyway, I hope I have given you your morning ha-ha, and you'll be able to go throughout the day thanking the Lord that you're not the one that had to tear up a shelf because there was a snake on it. But I've got a big job to do to get everything cleaned and reorganized. But hey, it was a job that needed to be done anyways. It's time to take stock of what I've got, get it in my binder, know what I have, know how many soaps, how many shampoos. More importantly, the first aid things going into the cold season. I need to know how many, cold and flu medications that we have. What do we have over the counter? Do we have plenty of Kleenexes and, all the stuff, Vicks and all the stuff that your family uses? Are you well stocked with all of that? It's time to do that. I need to pull out some products. If I have any medications that are expired, if I have any, I know that I saw a couple of my bottles of shampoos and conditioners, body washes that got pulled off of the shelf. I saw that the tops of their bottles were cracked. I need to make sure that those are going to be put to the front of our supply so that they can be used first, so that we, you know, they don't ruin before we can make good use of them. And so I've got a busy morning. Everybody else is still asleep. It's early Saturday morning. So I'm going to knock this out before I have little hands trying to help me. And when I get done, I'll bring you back and I'll show you the finished product. And I'll show you if there's anything that I had to get rid of because it was wasted or it was out of date. And what I kept stock of. Also, these boards, I'm assuming that they're going to be easy to put back on, and I'll do my best to do that without bothering Blade, but he might have to put these back on for me. So anyway, I'm going to get busy, and I'll come back to you when I get it done. And here's the finished product, guys. As you can see, everything is back on the shelf, and although it looks probably crazy to you guys, I have it organized where I can find everything. I did have to throw away some Pedialyte that was past its prime, a couple of lotions, and some soaps that were kind of gross. The lotion actually got the tops popped off of them when Blade was chasing that snake, and just a few. I think I threw away some batteries that were past their prime and weren't good, but everything else is looking pretty stocked. I see where there's holes, so I'm going to have to get some more shampoo, and there's other things, but we've got our cold and our section that we have all of our health and first aid stuff at the top with things for your tummies and your eyes and your ears and sore throats and flu and cough and all of that. And we've got the Vapor Steam, and then we've got stuff for sore muscles, which it seems like I have a lot of that these days. We've got plenty of alcohol and peroxide and hand sanitizer and all those things, and then it goes on down into the soaps and the other products. And so I got it all back in order after that snake fiasco that we had. Have taken stock, made record of what I've got, and I know what I'm in need of. And you know, every once in a while, you know, it doesn't hurt to go through your stocks and make sure that you don't have any holes and get rid of the things that are not good anymore. And I sure don't want to have to wait till a snake shows up every time for that to happen. I hope that you guys have got a little bit of a chuckle from my story this morning, although it was not funny when the snake was here. And we'll take time to check out your own pantries and your own supplies and make sure that you don't have any shortages. Okay, guys, until next time, this is Josie. I love you guys, I really do. Keep looking well to the ways of your household, including all of your stocks. Know what it is that you have, what you're short of, what you need to do to fill up those holes that'll get you through a year or more in your supplies. And until next time, guys, we're gone.